Hello! I was recently asked to be part of a collaboration video featuring this very famous Christmas song. After I recorded the guitar solo, I thought it'd make quite a nice little study piece on how to play the chord changes in more of a rock context. I didn't use the original backing track in the song just in case of any copyright issues, so the track you're hearing is just some basic MIDI drums and a basic track I put together. If you would like a copy of the guitar tablature for this solo, then I'll put a link in the description to this video. When I recorded this solo, I was aware that there were also going to be vocals on the track, so I had to stick quite closely to the harmony. When I say sticking to the harmony, I mean that I was going to be sticking to the roots, the thirds and the fifths of each chord. So as an example, if I play a C major chord, if I play a C major scale, and if I number the notes, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1 again. The first note's a C, 1, 2, 3, the third note is an E note, and the fifth note is a G note. So I'm going to be mainly sticking to the notes C, E and G over the C chord. And then over the G chord, if I play the G chord, I'd have the root will now be a G, and the third would be a B, and the fifth would be a D, and so on. The only problem is if we hit the D minor chord, we need a flattened third. So if I play from a D, the root is a D, the third is an F sharp, we need to move this down to an F note. So we flatten the third, so we have a root, the flat third, and the fifth. So we have the notes D, F, and A. So they're going to be the notes I'm going to mainly stick to when I'm playing over the D minor chord. So the solo starts over a C chord, C major, and I start on fret 12 on my G string, which is the fifth, quickly sliding down to the third of the C. You can see this in the chord, this note here. I'm going to play the intervals of the third, the fourth, slide to the fifth. Then I'm going to go to the root, but I'm just going to slide right down to fret 5. That gives me the C. So we have the third, the fourth, the fifth, and then the root of the C chord. We then change to an F chord. I'm going to bend fret 8 to fret 10, which gives me the third of the F, down to fret 6, which is the F. So we have third, second, root. Going to go back to fret 8, which is now the fifth of the C. Then now to the third of the C. So if you listen to the chords, we have these notes. You can hear the harmony there. Back to the F chord again. So this time I'm going to bend fret 9 on my G string to the F. So here the chord changes as we play the line. This is the F, F again. And now back on the C chord, which is the fifth of C, the 6 going to the root of the C. Now we're going to hit a D minor chord. So for this one I'm going to bend fret 13 on my B string, gives me the D, just the root of the chord. Then I'm going to play over the G chord. I'm playing the third and the roots of the G. You can see in this chord. So that line sounds like D minor, then the G, back on the C chord again. Going to play the C, the root, the 2 to the 3 once more. Next chord is the F. I'm going to bend to an F note, then back to the third of the C. So even just little bends like this, you can hear the harmony. Back on the F, there's a little line here. So I'm going to play the 2 to the root, or the 2 to the 1, the 6 to the 5, then the 3 to the root. So if you know what a major pentatonic scale is, it's basically notes of a major pentatonic scale. Then the F note is going to go back to the third of the C, to the fifth of the C. So that line, just putting some slides in to make it more interesting. The next chord is D minor. There's a little speedier run here. I'm going to target the flat third, which is this F note I talked about earlier. So I'm hitting the F note on the beat. There's just a little scale pass in there. Next chord is a G. And again, this run is the third, the second, and the root to the flat 7. So it could be a G7 chord. And then a run. So this is still over the G chord. I'm playing the root, the 2, the 3, the 4, the 5, the 6, of the G. Then I'm hitting a G note on the high E string, which is back actually to the 5th of a C chord. So back on the C chord. Once again, the 5, 4, targeting the 3rd. So the main notes there are the 5 and the 3. The F chord again, double bend, just bending to the 3rd of the F, to the F, back to the 5th of the C. Back to the F again, and the C, we have the 3rd and the 5th. Then we're on the D minor chord again. So this is a little arpeggio line here. Once again we have the 5, the flat 3, then the root, back to the 5 and the flat 3. And then over the G chord I'm going to play the 3rd of the G. It's that same sequence. It's the 3rd to the root, the 3rd to the root, the 5th, 3rd to the root. Then just back on the C chord I'm just going to play a C note. Then the 5th. Little twiddly thing here. Just going the 5 to the 6, back to the 5. F chord, just an F note. To the 3rd of the C, F again. Now on the C, this was the C note going down to the 5th of the C. And then finally we have a D minor. I'm going to bend to the 5th of the D minor. Then the G, bending to the 3rd of the G. Then bending to the root of the C chord, so just bending to a C. So that last line, you can hear the D minor, the G, and the C. So as you can see, I'm sticking mainly to roots, thirds, and fifths. All the extra notes, I mentioned major pentatonic before, that contains the 5th and the 6th and maybe the 2 as well. So root 2, 3, 5, 6. Sometimes putting the 4 in. So I'm adding those extra notes for the scale, but mainly sticking to, especially on the beat, sticking to the roots, the thirds and the 5th. Hopefully this video has given you some ideas on how to target roots, thirds and 5ths, so you can create your own melodic guitar solos in a rock type style. If you are having difficulty in targeting roots, thirds and 5ths and visualizing all the other intervals on the guitar fingerboard, then be sure to check out my latest online video course, which is called Mastering Chords and Chord Substitution. I'll put a link in the description to this video. Not only will the course drastically expand your chord repertoire, it will also allow you to easily visualize the guitar fingerboard from a lead playing point of view, so you can easily play over chord changes. If you did make it this far, then please give the video a like and hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on future helpful videos. Bye for now.